clever pun.
Hello, and welcome to the Kongversation. I'm Hyle Russell.
And I am Dustin Jackson.
And we're live right now on twitch.tv/DKVine. Unless you're listening to us somewhere else. In that case, this is happening in the past.
Welcome to the past. Tonight you'll be visited by three spirits, and the first one is us.
Yeah, we're splitting shifts here. We can only do the Ghost of Christmas Past together because the job market is so tight right now. 2025 sucked unless you were a Donkey Kong fan. Thankfully for us, we are Donkey Kong fans. And on this episode of The Kongversation, we're counting down to 2026, if you will, in the birthplace of the DKU, Twycross, England. We count down to the new year, effectively in the UK. It's become a tradition here on the last Kongversation of the year. And this is the final episode of the Kongversation, Season 13. After this episode, we will be taking a bit of a break, but we will be back early in the year with Season 14. Every time we take a little break between seasons, people reach out to me and they ask me, is the Kongversation over? And I'm like, no, I just need a rest. And yeah, I will be resting. I cannot hear Dustin. I've lost Dustin. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. We're off to a great start. Hello to Gigastrike. Hello to Martros. Hello to Cause Brady. In the live stream. I don't know. Oh yeah, Dustin's saying Discord went down for me. Our internet went out, I think. Are you? Yeah, 2025 just wants to get its last licks in, apparently. Yeah, so I might be doing this solo until Dustin, if Dustin can get back. I don't know. Dustin's my official co-host for this episode, but it seems like Dustin just was blighted by 2025. The vengeful gods of 2025 wanted one last head on a pike. So, okay. Well, let's try to dust myself off. Everybody, please put your hands upon me. Get that dust off me. While we wait to see if Dustin can come back, I just have to get on with the show because we're live. We are live. There are no safety nets here. So yes, what will 2026 entail for the Donkey Kong universe? Well, I would like to say that it's relatively safe to proclaim that 2026 can't possibly be as busy as 2025 was or wound up being in the long run. 2026 will probably be something of a transitional year, coming out of that gravitational pull that was Donkey Kong Bananza. I think it's very likely we will get some glimpses of what's ahead on the horizon while still pulling away from the magnitude of Bananza. But I think Bananza still looms large in the consciousness of the fandom. So yeah, I want to say 2026, there's no way we can possibly be getting anything new after the year we had in 2025. But as was pointed out to me earlier today on our New Year's Forecast 2025 episode, just 1 year ago, I was extremely cautious. I said that I didn't think Nintendo would release the EPD developed Donkey Kong game in such close proximity to the release of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. And I said the EPD game, we didn't know when it was going to come, probably more than a year out. And, hey, remember Donkey Kong Country Returns HD? Do you remember when we thought that was going to be the biggest thing to talk about, I think that I was being extremely lower C conservative when I thought, 2025 was going to effectively peak on January 16th. And in my defense, I was just exhausted from getting death threats after every Nintendo Direct where DKEPD wasn't announced. So I thought my role last year was to be the expectation dampener. I was trying to get everybody to simmer down because we were heading into the big Switch 2 launch year, complete with the Switch 2 reveals, and, everybody was flying off the handle. Ooh, I think we're going to get Donkey Kong EPD. I think we're going to get 5 Donkey Kong EPDs. And I was just like, no, can we not send death threats my way when this doesn't come to pass? But it came to pass, and it turned out Donkey Kong Bananza was just an amazing all-time classic. I know, obviously it's not going to be to everybody's taste, but I think by and large for the fandom, it was a crowd pleaser. And, oh my God, Dustin's calling me. Hello?
Hello, Hyle.
Hello, Dustin.
Hey, my internet cut out.
Yeah, that was very funny. And I thought, I fully committed to the bit. I was going to just do the entire episode solo. Just an incredible feat of audio masturbation. That
would have been great. But I'm glad we don't have to resort to that.
I was already feeling the flop sweat. I was already thinking, there's no way I can make it. There's no way I'm going to pull this off.
Unlike 10 minutes in, where do we go?
Unlike other masturbatory exercises, there's no way I'm going to pull this one off.
Hey.
Oh. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, let's continue.
I thought it was just 2025 being a dick on the way out.
I just decided to not engage.
You were like, you know what? I'm just going to go in my fallout shelter. I'll see you in 2027.
Yeah, see ya.
We've been joined by some more people in the live stream. I can actually check in with the live stream now that my brain isn't hyper-focused on keeping this on track. The Noipoi Mitchell is here, terminally online.
Hey.
Chris Alcock, Amy Cupcakes, first-time chatter, says, Dustin!
Hello!
Pirate Kong is with us. Hello. Terminally online, 2024. You're a year out of date. You're almost 2 years out of date.
Hey, it's never too early to start being retro.
That's true. We know more about that than anybody. Anyway, Dustin, I was just explaining how a year ago I said I didn't think we were going to get Donkey Kong EPD so close to Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Yeah, that's true. I remember when you said that. And why did you lie to me like that?
Well, I just got done explaining to everybody while you were sent to the Dark Ages. I was tired of getting death threats.
I get that.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's a good reason.
But now that I've been vindicated in that regard, now that, DK Vine as a journalistic enterprise has been proven right that EPD was working on Donkey Kong for all those years, I'm going to get bold with it this year, Dust.
Holy shit.
I'm going to start predicting some wild shit because I'm feeling infallible.
I think we're going to get Banjo-Kazooie 8.
Oh, wow. They're going to be making 5 of them this year.
Yeah. They said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go all in. They're going to be really bad. We spent very little time making these, but you're going to get a lot of them.
Yeah, they're going to be like micro games, like from WarioWare. But yeah, look, I think, as I was saying, there will be other focuses for Nintendo in 2026. I think Donkey Kong's going to get a bit of a break this year.
Right. I mean, it was nice. We got a nice big Donkey Kong game. We're not going to get We're not going to get Donkey Kong every day till the end of time.
Donkey Kong every day. That would be a good name for a Donkey Kong game.
Don't you wish it could be Donkey Kong every day?
It's just it's the Donkey Kong mobile game. You have to log in every day to get your login bonuses.
The game is just Donkey Kong standing there scratching his ass.
I would play that. You know I would.
I would.
Look, Mario is going to be a focus this year with the Super Mario Galaxy movie, with the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers that we're still, celebrating or whatever. But I do believe the difference between, let's say, 10 years ago and today, 2026, is that Donkey Kong will not retreat into the shadows completely. I think that Donkey Kong will continue to be a low-key priority this year and in the years leading up to the next big milestone marker that we know is coming, the Donkey Kong movie. So we've seen a bit of this already in action at the end of 2025 with the launch of the Donkey Kong theme for the Nintendo Today app. Did you hear about this, Dustin? Did you know about this?
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah. So Nintendo Today, they finally launched a Donkey Kong theme. Little under a year since the launch of the app itself. And we've got some original bespoke animations featuring characters like critters. We just have a bunch of critters. We have King K. Rool in there. A lot of repurposed assets from Bananza, obviously. And then you've got some obligatory appearances from Lord Frederick and the Snowmans and Tiki Tong as well.
That was very nice of them to show up.
Yeah, I was glad they were there. And I think that had there been more runway from the launch of this theme to the end of this conversation season, I would have liked to have done a mini for that. That would have been something that DK Vine in the past would have been all over, and we would have done a 3-part episode on just the theme.
Yeah, but now we're so over Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I've had my fill.
That guy again?
No, the problem was there just wasn't enough time, and this was the longest conversation season, I have to point out again.
It's so long.
54 full-length episodes, 2 minis, 2 other Voices episodes that are available for the patrons, and amongst all of that cacophony of noise, 3 of the longest ever conversation episodes.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say I haven't gotten to them just yet. I've been intimidated. I don't know if I can get through them alive.
Yes. I don't know if I'm actually alive. I haven't checked my pulse since the last one I did with Courtney. So it was already a jam-packed season, is what I'm saying. And I'm hopeful that 2026 will allow me the chance to catch my breath a little bit, to kind of rebuild and restore, regroup all of my energies. And I want to do other things aside from the conversation. The conversation monopolized so much of my time this year, and it was worthy. It was a worthy cause. I'm not complaining. I'm not griping. Them's the breaks. We got the biggest new game maybe since the Rare era, as related to Donkey Kong, for this website, and that required a lot of focus for the podcast. I just want to get to other stuff for my creative output. I'm feeling very creatively unfulfilled right now, Dustin. I want to get back. I want to get back into video production. I want to be able to scratch my writing muscles a little bit more. Why would I scratch my muscles? This
because they're itchy.
My writing muscles have atrophied, and I'm just using weak ass metaphors that don't make any sense.
Ooh, my muscles feel like they've been bitten by a bunch of little bugs.
That's what we do to Mitchell. We infest Mitchell's car with spiders. I shouldn't do that to myself.
Right, it's okay if it's Mitchell.
Mitchell in the chat says, no.
No.
Anyway, so I have synchronized my Alarmo for Twycross time. I got an Alarmo this year, Dustin.
Wow, I'm jealous, I think.
You don't really need to be. The only reason I got the Alarmo, it does have the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe theme, and it has kind of Donkey Kong on one of the tracks there.
Kind of Donkey Kong.
Well, Donkey Kong's grunts are in there, but it's too much of Mario going woohoo when I wake up every morning, and it really
they should put in those old ass Mario Party Donkey Kong sounds where he goes like what? Yeah, that would be great.
The pitched down chimpanzee noise in a Hollywood sound effects library.
Yeah, that's my ringtone for my sister.
I have to admit, I like that sound effect just because Rare also used it for conga in Banjo-Kazooie.
I completely forgot about that until recently. We just played more of Nostalgia 64 the other day, and I thought, oh yeah, he makes those same noises I adore so much.
And it's not even a gorilla in real life; it's a chimp.
Yeah,
everything you know
but
is
it works
a lie.
for anything. It's one of those things that's so multi-purposeful.
Yeah. Anyway, according to my Alarmo, we have about 1 hour and 13 minutes till the new year in Twycross.
I'm excited. I can't wait for it to be New Year's in Twycross.
Yeah, you know, all of our buddies, all of our favorite fictional characters like Mr. Pants, they'll be ringing in the new year.
They'll be having a good time while we're doing this.
Yeah, so...
No, this is a good time. You know what? I'd rather be here than have it be New Year's any day.
Yeah. Gigastrike says, Hyle, I don't have an Alarmo, so you're going to have to let me know. Can you get Alarmo to make coin sounds during sex? Well, thank you. As you know, in addition to being a world-renowned scholar and journalist on the DKU, I am a sexual maniac. And I'm sad to say, though, that I've turned off the motion functionality for Alarmo because the way my nightstand is set up, it's actually underneath the bed, and it wasn't properly reading me, so I'm just using button control for the Alarmo.
I think that's an understandable position to be in.
Yeah. So I would imagine the Alarmo gets really judgy, though, because it's like, you've been in bed this long. And I'm like, no, it's just been since I last touched the button, you asshole. Anyway.
No, I just don't want to get out of bed.
I did get an Alarmo on the off chance. One of my predictions for 2026, Dustin, my first one. And
I'll drop that nasty stuff.
I'll drop it upon your face.
That's where I like it.
Donkey Kong Bananza will get an Alarmo theme.
You know what? That's a hot take, I think.
Well, I got the Alarmo in advance, so the day this drops, the day this becomes a reality, I can report on it.
You'll be prepared. You don't need to be scrambling to get your Alarmo once they add Donkey Kong.
Yeah, then I have to say, like, who the hell has an Alarmo? What store near me has an Alarmo? Oh, I'm boycotting that store because they support fascism. Oh, I'm boycotting that store because they... And then the only store that you can go to is, like, Costco, and they won't have an Alarmo. I'm not even a Costco member.
Yeah, everybody's already gotten all the Alarmos at Costco. They got the 20 packs of them.
An Alarmo for every room.
That's the America I want to live in.
That's the America we have to work for, Dustin. It's not just voting once. We have to vote in our local elections as well to get those 20 packs of Alarmos on shelves.
This is the one issue I will die for.
So normally I don't like to reflect too much on the year that was. DK Vine Unwrapped or whatever. Like, fuck you. Okay, for one.
Yeah, idiot.
For what? Everybody does that in early December. And I'm like, are you just saying nothing's going to happen this month? Two, we know what happened, really. But
yeah, we lived it.
I do think this was such a fascinating year, though, that I do want to quickly reflect on what transpired, because as I said, this time last year, Dustin, I was saying Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I was saying in 16 days, we will have the highlight of our year in our hands. And of course, there was other aspects to it. There was the impending opening of Donkey Kong Country at Epic Universe, and I was thinking, there's the off chance that we will get the new Donkey Kong game announced, but I was thinking maybe Mario Kart, because I was pretty sure Mario Kart was going to be a Switch 2 launch title, And
Right.
it was, but I thought Mario Kart would probably be the only other story aside from, Yuka Replayley. And, in my hands right now, I've got 4 major releases from this year. I've got Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, and then I've got Mario Kart World. And boy, I feel like I haven't given Mario Kart World a fair shake since, I don't know, mid-July.
So, what could have happened then?
Yeah, I really liked Mario Kart World, too.
I like it too. I feel like people kind of turn their backs on it a little, and I get it, understandable reasons, but I had a good time with it. I like just driving around and chilling.
As do I. I really do feel like the biggest problem with Mario Kart World, aside from some questionable design choices in free roam, at least at first, like not being able to track all your various like coins and P-switches, like it was very hard to be a completionist in free roam when the game launched. But I think everybody's biggest problem, not everybody, but a lot of the critical reception or backlash against Mario Kart World was the fact that it wasn't Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that was the game everybody had been playing for something like 11 years, right? So
yeah.
Anytime.
And let me just say, I think people's concerns with Mario Kart World are totally valid and justified. I totally get it. But man, have you heard that remix of Puzzle Plank Galaxy in there? Oh, sublime.
We'll be talking a little bit more about Mario Kart World later in this episode. But I am eager. Well, now that, I was going to say now that Bananza is slowing down, but it's not really, because once a month we are all like horny for Bananza again. But I would like to spend more time with Mario Kart World in 2026.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Bananza, I have played for 245 hours, according to my playtime tracker. And what more can I say about Donkey Kong Bananza, Dustin?
I don't know. I feel like, do you have anything left you can say after so many episodes and so many hours?
I'm sure there is, and I'm sure we will have more to say about Bananza later this episode as well. But it's my second favorite game of all time, and it comes very, very close to actually dethroning Donkey Kong Country 2. It doesn't quite get there because of nostalgia and because of what DKC2 means for me. And honestly, probably because the 2D platformer genre is still maybe my preferred take over 3D platforming. But it's very, very close. And I never thought there would be a game that would make me feel like Bananza made me feel ever again.
Yeah, I'm kind of... So I feel the same way you do, where I put DKC2 over Bananza purely for nostalgia reasons.
Yeah.
But I feel like it could change because I'm kind of the opposite. I think I prefer 3D platformers to 2D ones. I really like the exploration.
Sure.
I just get like a little, and I love 2D platformers too. It's like maybe a little sliver, a little slice of the pie more than 2D platformers. So I could see it change eventually.
Yeah, like, for me, Bananza is a game that made me feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
And I honestly have not felt like I did playing Bananza since the original Banjo-Kazooie. And that's not to say, like, I don't love Banjo-Tooie. It's just, I felt like I did in the summer of 1998, playing Banjo-Kazooie and just being fully invested in it. And when I'm away from home, wanting to get back to play it. And
do you think part of it is because it's like a brand new kind of 3D platformer? Like the first Banjo game, it is great. And even though I do prefer 2E, I kind of get the first one feeling a little more magical because it's the first one. You're being introduced to this world, this way they're going about things. And Bananza's the same way. It's a brand new kind of 3D platformer for Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, Bananza really did just wow me in ways I wasn't expecting to be wowed. And all the times we've spent speculating about DKEPD, especially when it started to become apparent to us that it was going to be 3D. And not that I would ever say that out loud because, again, death threats, but I was pretty certain going into it, you know, that it was going to be 3D, especially after it took so long to develop, and also just using some logic and saying, okay, well, if Nintendo picked this baton up after Vicarious Visions and that game was 3D, you know.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. But yeah, like, all the times we speculated about this game and what it would be, I think we were just picturing a standard 3D platformer. Like, basically what we had been playing, but refined, with Donkey Kong. Oh, run through some jungles. Here's a minecart. And we got a little bit of that, but it was something we weren't expecting, but it was exactly what we and the series needed. Mm-hmm. And not only that, it did all this new stuff, but it also elevated all this old stuff, and it just married it so well. And it was just something that, as a Donkey Kong fan, I have been so unaccustomed to. And that's being seen and being heard, and also feeling like the people making this are as freakish deviants as we are.
Yeah, it's a very weird feeling. It's like exactly how I felt when K. Rool got into Super Smash Brothers, but on a much bigger scale. Like,
right.
Almost as long as I've been in this fandom, it's Donkey Kong's like always been on the sidelines. Like, I came to DK Vine after DK64. That's when Donkey Kong was really starting to, I don't want to say go downhill, but you get what I mean. It wasn't as big after that for a while. Mm-hmm. And so I just wasn't used to, you know, getting a game that says, oh no, Donkey Kong Country is cool. Here's characters, here's references, here's music remixes. I was like, is this what, like, other people get?
Yeah, right. This is what we have been crying and moaning and bitching about. And it has given us that. And I understand, like, there are some people out there who still feel like, oh, Bananza didn't do it for me. It was too far astray from what I look for when it comes to Donkey Kong. But I think overall the majority opinion is, holy shit. And especially those who weren't won over in the early hype cycle, as the intricacies of how deep it goes into the series lore and history revealed themselves either through people openly talking about it and people getting spoiled, or just finding out by playing it. I think that, like, it puts the Donkey Kong series in this position that it hasn't been in, honestly, since the early aughts, since the days of Rare. And I'm really just excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Like, I don't think we have to worry about, even before this game came out, I was very worried that we were going to have a Donkey Kong Country Return situation where it's like, we are only going to bring, like, the bare minimum back. Like, whatever we feel is necessary, we'll keep. Don't expect to see too many fun fan servicey things. And, you know, to an extent, well, no, I don't even want to say that's what we got. It's not like it's not like every single character in the whole series is here, but I think we got enough to feel satisfied. It's very cool. Like the Rambi theme from DK64, I never thought I'd hear that again.
Dustin, we got Quawks back.
We sure did. I never thought we'd see. I guess that's a weird one, because how hard would it be to bring Quawks back? It's, if you have Squawks, you can make him purple.
Yeah, but they did it. They bothered to do it, and
yeah, yay.
Yeah, like, it's so weird that I can pick up Donkey Kong Bananza and say, well, yeah, you know, it's a Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong's in it, Cranky Kong's in it, Rambi's in it, Diddy, Dixie, Squawks. Oh, Quawks is in it.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, they brought back King K. Rool. Oh, and Quawks. And like, I don't know. It just, it's nice. It feels good. And this is what not only DK Vine has been advocating for years, and now it's a reality, and now we're living in that reality, okay? But also Donkey Kong Bananza is such a great game, and is such maybe a groundbreaking game at that.
I think so. I think I would say that.
It at least does enough new that it really makes Donkey Kong feel like it's not just following another franchise's footsteps.
Yeah, I think it does a good job of feeling like this isn't just another 3D platformer.
Yeah.
This is what Donkey Kong is as a 3D platformer. And I think it's great. I love the destructible environments. I think it does a really good job of making a Donkey Kong 3D platformer feel unique.
Right. And I think that, like, it also puts the series in a very favorable position because now it's justified why 3D Donkey Kong is necessary and why you wouldn't just slap Mario in there. And it gives it its own personality, its own identity. It really, I think, carries the spirit of Rare and what they did with the franchise in a way that has not been seen maybe since Donkey Kong 64, or at least the GBA remakes. And I think that now nobody's questioning, well, there are still some people out there questioning, why was Donkey Kong given this 3D platformer? Why wasn't it this franchise? But all of a sudden now we no longer have to argue 3D Donkey Kong. The sins of Donkey Kong 64 are laid to rest, and we have a Game of the Year nominee. We have a game that is selling very, very well and has gotten mostly critical acclaim. And
right, and I don't want to sell DK64 short either. Lots of people like it. I like it to an extent. I feel like it's still good enough to play. I hope they put it on NSO at some point this year. But I will admit to liking Bananza a lot more.
Yeah, like, I will always like aspects of Donkey Kong 64, and I will like Donkey Kong 64 on a conceptual level. Not what the game actually is, but just, like, hanging out with some freaks. Just
hanging out with some freaks.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64. I'm gonna go see Ghost Grandma. I'm gonna go see the nipple piercing enthusiast over there. But I think that Donkey Kong Bananza is a game I just immensely enjoy playing, and wow, what a great feeling that is. Anyway,
for sure.
And it just wound up being what the year revolved around. And I really thought, like, after Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, after the theme park launch, the theme park was basically a non-factor this year, Dustin.
I didn't go. I can't say.
I wasn't given an invite, but, like,
Donkey Kong, our invites from Donkey Kong must have gotten lost in the mail or something.
Yeah, but as soon as Bananza was announced, it was like, well, that's the focus. That's the narrative, like, arc of our year. And I thought, like, after the theme park, then what we would really be talking about was Yooka Replayly. And, between Donkey Kong Bananza and the enthusiasm for Playtonic diminishing drastically after the layoffs there, I think Replayly just wound up being on the other side of the penny, so to speak. And they don't even make pennies anymore, Dustin. What the hell?
They sure don't. Is that depressing? I never cared about pennies, but now that they're gone, I'm like, well, I could have a penny.
It's just like, what am I going to use for my analogies now?
Seriously, you're going to say, hey, penny for your thoughts? And they'll say, like, what the fuck are you talking about, you weird creature?
Get fucked. So let's talk about 2026, and that's a good segue into getting what I really don't have a lot to say out of the way first, and that is Playtonic. Because, boy, it's unfortunate, isn't it?
It sure is.
Look, I will say, trying to keep it light, trying to keep it positive, I do dig Yooka-Laylee for the most part. I think on a whole, it's much tighter and it's more polished than the original Yooka-Laylee, and I fully intend to do another episode about it next year. I was going to do one before the end of 2025, and there just wasn't enough time.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no getting around the fact that the fervor and expectations for the studio are now the lowest they have ever been, thanks to the layoffs, which was just, those layoffs were just such a cold splash of water on the fans who were really rallying behind the studio. And I still want Playtonic to succeed. I still want them to turn things around because there are still so many creative talents there that I'm rooting for, that I am a fan of. And I love when they work together. So my criticisms of what has transpired at Playtonic, I don't take that to be a blanket condemnation of everyone at Playtonic. It's just... it's really hard to get jazzed about the potential there at the moment because, Yooka-Laylee came out in 2017 to some lukewarm reception. And I like Yooka-Laylee. I don't rapturously love Yooka-Laylee, but I like it. I like it well enough.
You know how much I love the original Yooka-Laylee from our streams. It's a lot, right?
I honestly couldn't watch them because the negative tone became dispiriting. After.
I think I was a little more negative at the time. I really think the original Yooka-Laylee is one of those games where if I'm playing it with like a group of people and like 4 people, I'm going to get a little more frustrated at its problems. But if I'm just playing it on my own, I don't care all that much. I can have a good enough time with it. But I do still think, Replay-Lee is the much better version of the game. Yeah,
and, following that, I was still optimistic, and I think they rebuilt their credibility quite a bit with Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Critically, if not financially, if not fiscally, that game really was received well by the people who were still invested in Playtonic. But unfortunately, that hype, that bubble had already burst after Yooka-Laylee had come out. And I think there were ways to get people back. I think Yooka-Laylee Impossible Lair is still a game people should check out, especially if you're a fan of Donkey Kong Country. My God. But,
you know what they should have done, Hyle? They should have made a theme park for Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah, that would have done the trick. They should have put Yuka and Laylee in the Super Mario Brothers movie, and then that really would have gotten families invested in the characters.
That would have put asses in seats.
See, this is why we really should be consultants for everything, because we have the good ideas.
Yeah, every suggestion, like they say, hey, our seafood restaurant is going to go under, and we say, put Yuka and Laylee in there.
Oh, your seafood restaurant is going to go under? Oh, yeah, well, maybe you should make it a Donkey Kong game instead.
Ever think of that, genius?
That's my answer for everything. Because I've considered making it a DKU game.
Smug.
So anyway,
you should have put Donkey Kong.
Impossible Lair, I think, created a lot of optimism for those of us still following Playtonic. And then the studio grew, and wasn't wild about the Tencent deal, but I was like, well, deal with the devil, you still get some perks out of it. And like it's not great, but if it helps them out, then I guess so be it. Yeah, and so they were bringing in lots of hungry, young, creative talent who were, learning at the knee of all of these rare vets who I adore. And then it took them 6 years to release their next in-house game, and it was just a redo of their first game. Now, at the time, I was like, okay, well, this is just a fresh start. It's a new beginning, and from what I was hearing internally, it made sense why this would be the first one out of the gate while they were working on other projects.
Right.
But then the layoffs happened a few months before Yooka-Laylee's release, and they have lost the majority of their young talent as a result. And it feels like...
And I think I speak for both of us when we say we don't enjoy that.
We don't enjoy that. I'm speaking some controversies here, I don't enjoy when people lose their jobs.
You know what? I was on the fence before, but after giving it some consideration, I think I'm not for that.
So the studio is starting from scratch effectively again, now with this wildly uncertain future. And even Yooka-Ree-Playly, which I really like, there's some bugs, there's some issues at launch. It plays like dog shit on Switch too. But overall, I really like it. But it feels like this cold one-off that really isn't representative of anything now, rather than what it was supposed to be when it was announced last year. And it sucks. So my only prediction for Playtonic in 2026 is the hope. It's not even a prediction, it's just the hope. It's the hope they can recover and they can maybe rebuild from the rubble in some form or fashion, because there's still lots of people there I'm rooting for, and I feel like it is magical when they work together, and it would be nice if they kept working together and fulfill the promise of the studio. But my enthusiasm for anything related to Playtonic is probably at an all-time low, and that sucks.
It sure does. I really hope that by this time next year, we can still include Playtonic in these episodes.
Right. I mean, it'll always be part of the family. It'll always be part of the, hey, remember this?
Yeah, family members die sometimes.
Wrinkly dies and we still talk about her all the time.
Yeah, more than we should, really. But we love it.
So we're building the positivity back up slowly, brick by brick. Let's talk about Rare. Now, it was also a rough year for Rare, to be fair. Although I would argue the wounds don't cut nearly as deep there, since their layoffs were more isolated and they were initiated top-down from Microsoft, which, like the rest of the tech industry in 2025, has decided to fully embrace lawful evil for as long as they can. So it's really, really unfortunate, but I think the layoffs there have a bit more of an asterisk next to them than what has happened at Playtonic, which just seems like financial mismanagement from the studio itself.
Right.
Now,
it sucks that we have two of these DKU branches that we love so much, and both of them are just, layoffs. Sorry.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat people losing their jobs.
No,
but
that royally sucks.
At the very least, there have been some happy or pleasant workarounds since the layoffs transpired. Louise O'Connor was immediately brought in for a new role at Xbox Studios. And, Will Overton even has stayed in Rare's orbit, did the holiday card for them this year. So that was cool to see.
Boy, is it wonderful.
Great. It's a great one. Yeah. So, meanwhile, Greg Mayles has retired. Greg seems somewhat content. Is more than happy to divulge some spicy secrets on social media. New Stop and Swap episode coming, season 14 of The Kongversation.
Absolutely wild. I couldn't believe some of the stuff he was posting. Like one of them was the fantasy themed level for Banjo-Kazooie. I think that's the first we've ever heard about this.
Kind of glad that one didn't get in, though.
Oh, how come?
It looked like Mario.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. Okay.
I like Banjo-Kazooie as is. It's one of those things that's nearly perfect. And I'm just like, that was good. You cut that. I know there's this tendency for fans to lionize things that have been cut and build it up as like, oh yeah, that would have made this even more epic. But sometimes things are cut for a reason. That's the creative process.
Right. It's just the idea of what could have been. Like, oh, I could have had more Banjo. What would have been in this world? And it probably cut for a good reason. But it's still fun to think about. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah, and I wouldn't count Greg Mayles out either. He's retired for now, but I could see in short order him coming back somewhere down the line and being like, I have this great idea for a game. And you know what? We will follow it, because Greg Mayles is my favorite video game designer of all time. And anything he decides to do, I will pay attention. So
Yeah, I really do wonder where he'll end up. It could just be he shows up at a game company for like a one-off game or something. I know back in the 2010s, Ron Gilbert, Mr. Monkey Island himself, went to Double Fine just because he had a new idea for a game.
Yeah.
So I could see Greg just showing up anywhere, really. I think any place would be lucky to have him.
Yeah, at the very least, just as a consultant, because he's got just great, like, very, like, I'm just gonna say clean ideas. There's a purity to his ideas. And if you just use them as a launching pad, I think that would justify it in and of itself. So, yeah. And he could just be very happy retired. He could just decide, you know what?
Maybe he just doesn't want to do any more games. That's possible, too.
I just want to sit on my porch and whittle sticks for a while. That's fine.
That's the life.
He doesn't owe us anything, but
These are so pointy.
I also think the creative mind is not silenced for long. So,
yeah, I'm interested in seeing where things go with him. But I'm happy to see all these new Banjo documents too.
Sure. I'm glad that Greg is a disgusting hoarder.
I guess someone has to be. Think of all the stuff that probably got thrown out.
Yeah. I mean, it is like a treasure trove, no pun intended, of history that has been preserved thanks to Rare never recycling.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff I live for. I'm all about like art books and seeing the development process of this stuff. And, you know, I think a lot of this concept art for these Banjo games, just insane to see. Like seeing this development artwork that's never been seen before of like my favorite things in the world. It's like Christmas every day and then an asterisk every day that Greg posts something.
Yeah. Although I wish he would jump on Blue Sky.
Yeah, that is true. I wish I didn't have to go to Twitter, but it's still nice. At least there's some nice posts on there from Greg.
So anyway, the Everwild layoff should have never happened. But if I'm honest, Everwild should have been canceled ages ago. Like, the whole project...
I gotta be honest, I'm not that brokenhearted about it, other than everyone losing their jobs on the Everwild team.
Yeah, no, that's no good. But Everwild as a project itself was cursed. It's a decade-long failure. It tied up resources at Rare that could have been used elsewhere. They were just continually pumping money in a project that never seemingly had any firm direction, could not be salvaged no matter who came in. And, I mean, it was nothing more than vibes, apparently. And I like those vibes from what we've seen. I was like, yeah, that looks cool. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, it did look cool. It kind of reminds me of what happened with Saberman Stampede, how that got canceled because they just did not have any direction for it, which is too bad. Now that I think about it, it feels very similar, you know, a person interacting with a world of animals.
Yeah. Although Saberman Stampede, I feel like I have a better idea of what that was more than Everwild.
Yeah.
But that could also just be bias from Stampede evolving out of Donkey Kong Racing. So.
It looked so cool. It breaks my heart that one didn't get to keep going.
But look.
But I get it. I understand.
Yeah. This year wasn't a total wash for Rare. It was the first full year of the Joe Neat Jim Horth era. So, you know, hopefully wheels are turning behind the scenes. It brought us the Rare 40th anniversary, which was kind of low key in comparison to Rare's 30th anniversary. You know, there's no big Rare replay or anything this year, but at the very least, it felt like the studio was fully celebrating the complete history of the studio again.
Yeah. For sure.
I've understood Rare wanting to distance itself from Nintendo, from the Nintendo era, which they could never escape the shadow of. And I fully supported that, you know, during the launch of Sea of Thieves and the year or two after. Because it was important for Rare to establish that they aren't just a former hits factory from the 90s that really can't replicate that magic again. With Sea of Thieves, they had arguably their biggest mega hit ever. And they did it. And then that's the only game they've done in a decade. So,
yeah.
like, I don't want to diminish Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, my third favorite game of all time after Bananza. But, Sea of Thieves, it's really great. But all they've done in the years since Sea of Thieves launch is co-developing Battletoads 2020 with Delilah. And
which is good. I really enjoyed that Battletoads.
Yeah, but and then it was just Everwild development hell.
Yeah.
So
and I'm also in a spot where it's like I really enjoy Sea of Thieves. I have a great time whenever we play. I think I'm ready for something else though.
I would like to see something else from the studio. Yeah, and I think my whole point is just don't run from your history anymore, Rare. There's no need to do it. You've proved your point. And
people want to see these come back for a reason.
People love these characters. They love these series. They love these games. And I'm turning on my Evercade right now, Dustin, because
right in the middle of a podcast? For shame, Hyle.
Right in the middle of a podcast, because we did get Rare Collection 1 for the Evercade this year. And, what a weird format this is, but I like it.
I wouldn't know. I haven't gotten one yet, but it sounds off the hook.
There, it just turned on. You hear that? That was...
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm really there.
It's like you really have an Evercade. No, I'm turning it off now because I'm not Josh Wallen. I can't play a video game while I'm doing a podcast.
I can't either. I could barely respond to the chat while listening to you.
I know. It's hard. It's hard. I was really worried when I thought I was doing this solo. I was like, oh, God.
How am I going to turn on my Evercade now?
So Rare Collection 1 obviously doesn't make as big of waves as Rare Replay did 10 years ago, but it brought us Conker's Pocket Tales back, and I think there's some viability with this format. So, predictions?
Yeah, for sure.
Predictions, Dustin? Rare Collection 2.
I think that's, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it will entail. Like I said, I would really love if they could find a way, and I think this is an acceptable format, if they could find a way to re-release the THQ4.
For sure. I mean, those are the ones that are like completely lost,
Yeah.
that are worth getting out there right now.
Just so we're all on the same page. That's Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, that's Saberwolf GBA, that's It's Mr. Pants, and that's Banjo Pilot. Three of those games are honestly some of Rare's finest games they have ever made. I will stand by that opinion. And then there's Banjo Pilot, which is fun. You can play as Jolly Roger.
Yeah. I don't hate Banjo Pilot. It is obviously the worst one, but, I can't hate a game that has all these lovable characters in it.
Yeah, Espresso the Ostrich is in it.
Yeah, he's there. You can play as Klungo. That's good stuff.
Yeah, you've got Grunty's Revenge characters in the crowd scenes.
Yeah, who I can't really remember the names of right now.
There was the one...
Alfred Peacock,
and then there's the rat who's kind of unfortunate racial... I won't even get into it, but not all of them are worth saving. But there's
no.
there's the bucket. We like the bucket.
Yeah, the bucket's cool. I love that guy.
Anyway, NSO releases. You already mentioned Donkey Kong 64. I think Donkey Kong 64 is likely to become...
it has to.
It has. The biggest hurdle with Donkey Kong 64 is the lag or the lack thereof on modern hardware. It was the biggest problem when it came to the Virtual Console on Wii U. It was really hard to play in some areas, but already they are kind of leaning into DK64 a bit. We had the big DK64 Emerald Rush event in November, So Strong It's Funny, with the chunky and lanky trophies. And then on Nintendo Today, they actually had a video for Donkey Kong 64, saying these characters are originally from Donkey Kong 64, and there's video footage of it. So they don't often lean towards celebrating games that aren't immediately available in their infrastructure, in their little ecosystem. So I think DK64 is likely to come very soon, or relatively soon, we'll say. But
yeah,
Obviously, still laser focused on Diddy Kong Racing for NSO. I feel like we say that on every New Year's forecast episode. So it's going to happen. It has to happen.
It's got to happen eventually. It feels like the one time where they really can.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know what the holdup is. And other than the NSO team is really, really small. And, you know,
maybe that's it. Maybe there's just lots of games to get on there because now they have GameCube on there.
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance is on there.
Yeah.
Virtual Boy's coming. So that's a lot of games to get on there.
With Virtual Boy, is not many games, at least.
No.
Star Fox Adventures, speaking of GameCube,
that could be on there.
I definitely think we'll get Star Fox Adventures this year. I said definitely. Such certainty. But...
And Hyle will eat his hat if he's wrong.
Conker's Bad Fur Day is still the dark horse of the bunch, but there is that...
It could happen.
There is that M-rated N64 app that only has like 3 games on it, so...
And I feel like Conker is like... I don't know if it's like more high profile than Perfect Dark, maybe not, but I think it is the most infamous M-rated N64 game, so yeah. I think like if you say NSO M-rated app on Switch, Conker's Bad Fur Day is the first one most people are going to think of. That's like the one.
At least in our community, but we are biased.
Yeah, we are biased. Yeah. But even then, like, I think it's just the one a lot of people talked about. Like, Perfect Dark, very good, but, like, it's not anything out of the ordinary. That's dismissive. That's not what I meant to say.
Wow.
I just mean like you get an FPS game that's rated M. Yeah, that makes sense. But Conker's Bad Fur Day was just such a wild, like, what the hell is this game that so many people knew about it.
You're being yelled at in the chat, Dustin.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean what I said. Whatever it was that they're angry about.
Honestly, Perfect Dark is better than GoldenEye, but I like GoldenEye more because it has the James Bond IP and I'm basic.
Understandable. You know what? I never could get into GoldenEye. I'm not like a big FPS guy in general. But I recognized how good Perfect Dark is. Like, I liked when I played through it. That genre is just not my thing. But GoldenEye, I just could never really force myself to get into that much. But I'm not biased. I'm not really a James Bond guy in general, so that might be it.
Yeah, I'm not an FPS guy, but GoldenEye is the only time in a video game I can play as Sean Bean and Alan Cumming, so naturally I'm going to be interested. But anyway, yeah, like... Rare on NSO is still a big story whenever it happens, and it's still happening. Yeah. We're still getting releases, so
even when they're smaller releases, it feels like a big event. Like when they dropped those NES ones, like all together, did they drop like 4 of them at once or something? It was like
there was
Cobra
the big
Triangle.
Yeah, there's been several now, and most recently, Battletoads, the original. Came.
Even then, like, Battletoads sucks. It's not good, but it still feels like, oh, cool. That's cool to see on there. Battletoads,
right? Like, I don't like Battletoads all that much. I've tried.
I kind of have a soft spot for it. Back when Rare Replay came out, you know how they have that endless turbo tunnel in the snapshots? Mm. I got so into that. I think I'm still like, out of my Xbox friends, like number 1 on there, but that could have changed. But I was doing that for a long time.
Yeah, it's why Battletoads 2020 didn't like read as anything wrong to me because I felt it was more playable than the classic Battletoads.
Yeah, I just don't have that much of a connection with Battletoads as a series, but I loved Battletoads 2020. It's not perfect, but I thought it was great. I had a good time with it.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll still be talking about Rare on NSO. And of course, it feels like everything is just building up to Diddy Kong Racing for me. For other fans, probably Donkey Kong 64. And Star Fox Adventures, I think, is the one to watch, maybe more than any of them at this point. So...
Yeah, I think part of it's also Star Fox just does not have a whole lot of games, so it makes sense to get what you can on there.
Yeah, and look, when SFA, as I call it, comes to NSO. I'll be getting the GameCube controller finally. I've been holding out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good for you, Hyle.
Before we move to Donkey Kong and Nintendo, let's just talk about Banjo-Kazooie really quick. I'm sorry.
Hyle, I'm always happy to talk about Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, but this is the kind of Banjo-Kazooie chat I hate having because it's talking about what the hell is happening with Banjo-Kazooie. Because, yes, there have been whispers of Banjo-Kazooie pitches. I've heard them, you've heard them, we've all heard them. And I do think, at this point in time, I'll just say it's beyond ridiculous that nothing has transpired with Banjo-Kazooie as a property since Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. They should have capitalized going into Smash or coming out of Smash to do something with the property. Yeah. It's just...
The fact that nothing came from that is wild.
It's not just leaving money on the table for this one moment in time, but it's like there was a golden opportunity to rebuild the brand and rebuild the series, to take the interest that was being generated from Smash Ultimate. And just like Bananza has done with Donkey Kong, Nintendo has been so smart with how they've been rebuilding Donkey Kong, especially since 2023. And like, it just feels like I don't even want to get started. I have probably been more patient than anyone in the fandom on this front, and my patience has now worn thin. It's completely bare at this point.
Yeah, I think what I think about with Banjo is like, you look around and you see so many other platforming mascots getting their resurgence, and I see a lot of people who are saying like, well, why the hell does Bubsy get a new game when Banjo doesn't? And I'm not like that. I think it's awesome Bubsy's getting a new game that actually looks really good. I think all of these platformer characters should be able to have a presence still. It's not a case of like, this one shouldn't, but this one I like should. I just also want Banjo, like Crash Bandicoot came back and had a lot of great games in the last few years. Banjo could totally get in on that.
Yeah. I will say that whenever I see all these 3D mascot revivals, all these characters and franchises that maybe were below Banjo-Kazooie in the pecking order, if you will, I will say that I'm just like, and why are they sitting on Banjo-Kazooie? And I know, like...
Yeah.
It's like, we got to do something right. We have this, like, we'll have one shot at bringing it back. But the thing is, at this point, I feel like it's just more indecision than anything. And, the problem is...
I'd rather have, like, an imperfect Banjo, like it has some flaws, than have no Banjo at all.
Well, the problem, though, is when they finally do announce a new Banjo-Kazooie, and I still think, it will eventually happen. But
I think so.
But the problem is they'll announce it, and then the enthusiasm, the expectations are going to be next to nil. Because who's to say this won't suffer the same fate as, say, the Perfect Dark revival, or all these other games that have been announced and then canceled at Xbox Studios.
Yeah, I hate to say it, Xbox is kind of a laughingstock in the gaming community right now. If they announce a game, they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
It kind of is. And again, it's more top-down than anything. Like, I will pin a lot of...
I don't blame anyone at any of these studios at all.
I will pin the Everwild debacle a little bit on Rare management, for allowing it to, spiral out of control like that. But I just don't know. Like, maybe the key is if they can finish it. If the new Banjo-Kazooie can get to gold and they can just sit on it like Nintendo did with Bananza and then announce it 3 months before it actually launches, then great. But I don't want them, as much as I love a long hype cycle, I don't want them just announcing it and then it getting canceled 2 years later.
Yeah, I do think, like, back in the day, I used to love, like, oh, this game's not coming out for another year. That's so much time to get excited about it. Now it's like, no, do not announce this until you are ready, and this is for sure happening.
Yeah.
And I do not have to wait that long for it.
With the utter shit show that most of the video game industry has devolved into in the middle of the 2020s, I don't really want to deal with that. So, yeah, like, I'm so hopeful.
Especially for something like Banjo, where people are going to be hard to satisfy.
Yeah.
And I totally get that if that's the reason that a new Banjo's been so long coming. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to please everybody, but it's just going to get harder to do the longer time goes by.
Absolutely. So, let's just say I hope nothing for Banjo-Kazooie is announced in 2026 unless it's been in development for 3 years already or whatever, however long it takes to make a Banjo-Kazooie game.
Yeah, I hope that is the case. I would like a new Banjo to be announced if it's good and locked in.
Yeah. All right. Let's move to Donkey Kong. Let's get positive.
Okay.
Dustin. Okay.
Let's get positive.
Well, yeah. Woo, woo. So Donkey Kong.
Let's do it.
Donkey Kong Bananza. We are not going to escape Donkey Kong Bananza completely in 2026. In fact, Donkey Kong Bananza Emerald Rush, as I said on the episode of the Kongversation for Emerald Rush, I think Emerald Rush, the monthly events, they're going to go at the very least through 2026. I think this is going to serve somewhat as a bridge to the next Donkey Kong hype cycle, or close to it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even consider, like, by the time these are over, maybe we will, know about whatever's next for Donkey Kong.
Yes. And I want to say hello to some people in the live stream as well. Traveler of the Stars is here and a screaming Tiki Tong statue. And then the Noi Poi is making it a factional debate and says Clump and Crush a statue.
Yeah, that would be good. You know what? At this point, I'm happy to see anyone. Anyone you can give me, I'll be like, yes, thank you.
Is it weird that I would fully expect a Banjo-Kazooie statue in Emerald Rush before we get any movement on a Banjo-Kazooie game over at Xbox Studios?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't actually expect that, but I'm just, like, Bananza has astounded me with how deep it's going to go. It's like, cross some corporate lines and just whatever. Bring in a Banjo-Kazooie statue at this point.
It's probably a lot less needs to go into it than a brand new Banjo game. So
yeah, just a new model. That's all. So I said something on Blue Sky the other day that got a little bit of traction, and I'll read it here. And this is just more so about the philosophy of the Donkey Kong series and being a fan of the Donkey Kong series going into the new year. And by the way, 21 minutes until the new year in Twycross.
Yay!
Yay! All right. So I said one of the odd misconceptions about Donkey Kong Bananza's existence is this notion that it's a one-off. That Nintendo made it a Donkey Kong game by arbitrarily drawing the name out of a hat, and that it's not part of a multi-year strategy to reestablish the brand between the park and movie. I went on to say, I get that Donkey Kong getting a new 3D platformer in 2025 is bewildering to many fans and even mainstream journalists, but this has been the plan for years now. Yes, it would be cool if Star Fox or Wario got a new game, but it's not like Bananza exists as it does because a dart landed on DK's face.
You know what, Hyle? I thought exactly those two posts word for word before you said them.
Yeah, I know. I just stole it from you because of the chip I don't want to brain.
Yeah, I don't want to steal credit for them or anything. I'm just saying it was. I let you have those eloquent posts.
This was spurred by a couple things. I've been seeing a lot of fictions and fables being told by a certain subset of online Nintendo fans who told them that originally Bananza was a Wario game. And they then decided to make it a Donkey Kong game, or...
Yeah, I wouldn't have believed it myself if I didn't just make it up and pull it out of my ass.
And look, obviously we at DK Vine have a different perspective on all of this because we've been following this story for over half a decade. So it's not surprising that this game exists. But for those who haven't been following along at home or didn't give any credence to our initial podcast and then reports about this game being in development, it is surprising to some people that Nintendo had a big 3D Donkey Kong game for the Switch 2 near launch, when that's not a reality they have ever lived with in their lifetime. Assuming they're too young for Donkey Kong 64, assuming they don't remember Donkey Kong in the 90s, and they always view Donkey Kong as this novelty that comes around every so often, but it's not a real series, Dustin.
It's not real. Gorillas with ties.
And of course, we have been following this, since 2018 of Nintendo rebuilding the Donkey Kong brand brick by brick. And we are finally living in the bounty that harvest that they planted. Well, I'm really mixing my metaphors. I need to be better at writing. I need to get better. I need to hone my skills. I've been doing this podcast too much this year. Too much.
Hey, yeah, you know what? It's doing your brain a disservice. That's a good New Year's resolution, though, is be better.
Just be better at everything. I need to
in general.
I need to beat myself up more. I think that is a good New Year's resolution.
I think that's what it comes down to. You need to be mean to yourself. And you'll feel great afterwards.
I'm already pretty mean to myself, but I'm just going to dial it up a little bit. I'm going to just beat myself a little bit.
Oh, no. Hyle, I don't want you to beat yourself.
Oh, it's already started.
Yeah, I mean, you can if you want to.
I'm muting the mic every time I punch myself in the crotch.
Oh man, that would have been great if I could just hear like a Hyle Russell making the sound Mario makes in Mario 64, where he goes like, oomph. That'd be great.
That's close to the sound I hear every morning when my alarmo goes off, unfortunately.
That would be great. The Mario one is just constant that sound bit from Mario 64 on a loop forever.
Look, my point is, Dustin, I don't think we'll get any more Donkey Kong games announced in 2026. I think the Bananza events will be keeping the fandom activated and engaged in that sense, and more people will be discovering Donkey Kong Bananza throughout the year. That momentum is just going to naturally build. So, that being said, I don't think 2026 will be completely absent of any exciting Donkey Kong news aside from what 2 statues are we getting every month. And
right.
Trust me, that alone is way more than we had 5 years ago. So I'm happy about that. But
I'll take it.
I will give a prediction. This is a prediction. I'm putting myself out there. I don't think I'll get death threats over this. So, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I do think the Donkey Kong movie will be officially announced this year.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I could see that. Well, especially since Mario Galaxy is coming out.
Yes.
It would be nice to have an announcement for this.
Well, here's my thought. Here's my logic.
Okay.
Late March, early April, everybody will be doing press for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Uh-huh. And one of the big questions that will inevitably come up is, hey, where's Seth Rogen? Where's Donkey Kong? Why isn't he part of this? Why isn't he being billed in this? What's going on with that? It's possible there might be a small cameo there, maybe an end credits scene a la Marvel, to set something up. But it's going to be a question that will have to be answered, and they could just sidestep it, they could just skirt it, or they could just come out and say, the Donkey Kong movie coming 2028.
And we all will be too.
Hopefully not in the theater, though.
Yeah, that gets people in trouble.
Yeah, that gets people in trouble. That's gross. Don't do it. Be respectful of others, even if you are a sexual maniac.
Yeah, do that at home.
So, my logic, 2028, it'll be a year after the Legend of Zelda movie, but it will be a year before the next Mario movie if they keep to the 3-year cycle.
Yeah, you know what, Hyle? That sounds right to me.
And I do think April or maybe a little earlier, is when we'll get that Nintendo Today announcement. Oh yeah, Donkey Kong movie. It's coming. For real.
I saw a post somewhere. That's a good start, but we don't know anything about this Donkey Kong movie as of right now. But I saw a post saying that apparently Seth Rogen is heavily involved in a more creative sense with this Donkey Kong movie. And if he is, I think that's actually something I'm kind of excited for. Because, say what you will about him as an actor. I know people have their opinions on him, but I think when he's, involved in a project, it's usually pretty good. He was a big guy on Invincible. He was behind that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out a couple years ago. That was really good.
Yeah.
If he's more involved with a Donkey Kong movie, I think that's cool. I'm excited for that, actually.
I haven't seen that studio show, just because I don't really care about Hollywood's masturbatory productions.
Right.
I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's good for what it is. I hear good things about it, but I just have zero interest in the subject matter. Somebody who flaked out of Hollywood, I just don't care. But yeah, I think Seth Rogen could bring something to it. And I think that's important. It's not just cookie cutter, Illumination making a kids movie. If he can give some actual creative heft to it, because as much as the Super Mario Brothers movie was pleasing for me, the Donkey Kong fan, it was only pleasing for me as a Donkey Kong fan. I have so many quibbles with that screenplay, and it's mostly because it was just a Trojan horse for the Donkey Kong movie, which is great for us. We're winning.
Yeah.
We're
just not for a Mario movie.
But the screenwriter in me is screaming every time I go back to revisit it. I'm like, why? Why is this here? Yes, this is here to set up the future and to rebuild the Donkey Kong brand covertly in the midst of this very pleasing Mario movie for families. But this screenplay sucks.
I like it enough. I think where I'm at with the Mario movie is it's a nice movie that I can just throw on, smile, point to the screen, and say, I know that. That doesn't make it a good movie, but it's a movie I can sit down and get some enjoyment out of. And I'm not a big Illumination guy. I think most of their movies are bad. I don't like them.
Here's the thing, Dustin. You better change your point of view, because I just sent them a holiday card with your name on it. Yeah. So,
you know what? Really looking forward to Minions 3 now that you say that.
Anyway, really, the Donkey Kong world will be moving from Bananza to the Donkey Kong movie, and it'll be a gradual shift, and it'll be very exciting to see what game announcements we'll get the closer we get to the Donkey Kong movie. I do think, and this is more long-term prediction, but I do think we are going to get a Donkey Kong Country game first. I think that will be next.
That's safe.
I think that will be next. Although I
agree.
I do open up the possibility to the return of Donkey Kong side games. And that, about 10 minutes out from New Year's, brings me to my last point. Let's talk about the cameo games. What's going on with cameo games and what that might mean for the Donkey Kong series, because there's some things up in the air right now. And it's interesting. We are currently heading into this new era for Donkey Kong. We are in it, but we are really coming to terms with that for the first time this past year. And this long-term plan to rebuild the DK franchise, like I said, it is finally paying off. I keep saying rebuild, and then I make a harvest metaphor. So this plan to plow the fields of the Donkey Kong series and give us a cornucopia of fruit. We are finally experiencing the first harvest of that. But we've had the launch of the theme park in Japan and in the US, the launch of a game of the caliber and success of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that will eventually mean other titles to support the IP. If you want to be crass and just think of it as an IP, but that's the way Nintendo is thinking. And I do think this will mean side games under the Donkey Kong brand for the first time since the buyout era, since Payon, since Konga, like maybe they will revive the Diddy Kong Racing brand. They still own the trademark to it.
That'd be hot.
Paging Kevin Callahan to the Kongversation, please. But I think we could also get some other surprises. I mean, who knows? It doesn't just have to be stuff we've had in the past. It doesn't have to be Donkey Konga yet again. It can be something new, something surprising. And
man, imagine if they announced Donkey Konga 4.
Yes, they'd have to bring out Donkey Konga 3 in the West first.
That's true. Or they just give it like a new subtitle. Instead of Donkey Konga 4, they call it like Donkey Konga Shake Your Ass to the Beat.
Yeah, they could do that. And you know what? They keep repatenting the DK bongos, so it's only a matter of time before they release the DK bongos. At the very least, to get Jungle Beat on NSO, I think that would be something you would have to do, is release the bongos. And I'd be fine with that.
If they can release a whole fucking Virtual Boy for this, they could do DK bongos.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, my point being, in relation to cameo games, is we have this seismic shift for how they're treating Donkey Kong. And they're treating it with a greater amount of internal reverence that we haven't seen since arguably 2002. And that's not me diminishing the buyout era games. That's not me diminishing retros games. It's just Donkey Kong is an internal brand again. And they have a lot invested in it right now with the theme park and the movies. So synergy. It's all about synergy, Dustin. So
it's all about synergy. That's what I'm always saying to you, Hyle, on this show.
So if they do have Donkey Kong side games cooking, or at least rough sketches, rough estimates of that, what does that mean for the cameo games? What does that mean for Donkey Kong appearing in these Mario side games, as he has often done since Mario Kart 64? Granted, all we've really had to go off of is Mario Kart World thus far, and in a month and a half, Mario Tennis Fever, coming out February 12th.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, you better remember quick, because there's no vaccine for the Mario Tennis Fever, does it? RFK said no, we all must carry the Mario Tennis Fever come February 12th.
I guess. You know what? I guess I can agree with that. I don't mind carrying the Mario Tennis Fever.
Now, Camelot has been incredibly hit or miss for me since their heights on the GameCube and I guess Game Boy Advance. But aside from Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, I would say the tennis series has been the one between the two that has had the most consistent quality for me.
Yeah, like, I didn't play the Switch Mario Tennis, but I think people liked that one a pretty good amount when it came out, right?
It felt more actualized than Mario Golf did.
Which sucks. I remember we did a stream of it on our Idaho Cruise streams, and we just weren't really feeling it.
Yeah. It's a shame, because I, in general, like Mario Golf more, but Mario Tennis has just hit more consistently. And anyway, so far, we have not seen Diddy in Mario Tennis Fever. Now, we don't know the full cast. We'll know soon. It's confirmed to have 38 characters at launch, but it does look like they're going the world route of getting a little silly with it. We have a blooper as a playable character, for example, so you know what they're doing. They're just copying Mario Kart World's homework here. But I'm wondering, considering we still don't have Mario Kart World DLC, and it's somewhat shocking that we don't. I really thought Mario Kart World was going to be supported by a robust DLC ecosystem pretty close to the start. I mean, that was one of my
same.
predictions, and it feels like Nintendo just doesn't want to pull that ripcord yet because they don't need to do it yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do know a lot of people, when they announced the Bananza DLC, were very confused. They're like, wow, this before Mario Kart?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we got it, for sure.
I am aware of the theories right now of Bananza DLC characters come into world, like up to and including King K. Rool. Wait and see, I guess. Because it does seem like they are being very considerate of how they are implementing Donkey Kong in the Mario side games in this new era. And it feels so far a lot more like the N64 days when you just had Donkey Kong effectively. And I don't know if that is because they want to keep them. Obviously, you can never get the pea out of that pool. You can never get Donkey Kong fully removed from these games. And that is why Donkey Kong is still appearing. And I mean, they fully embrace that. But as far as the rest of his cast, as far as marrying them, I think it's possible in games that they're like, well, yeah, let's just put them in this because there's not going to be a Donkey Kong equivalent to this. So this is our chance. But I don't know. I really don't know where they're going with that. Cameo games are kind of interesting to me right now, because we've never had this situation where Donkey Kong is being developed internally at Nintendo, but also being championed as its own healthy series again. And it does feel like it did in the 90s. And I know so many people are accustomed to the Kongs showing up in these games, but I don't know if that's in the cards so much.
I don't either. I mean, I'd be excited for it. I would really like to see more Donkey Kong stuff in Mario Kart World and future cameo games. But who knows? I guess if we did get more side Donkey Kong stuff where I could get those characters, I wouldn't be as thirsty for them in games like this.
And that's the thing. It's really, really, really hard for me to care about cameo games at the moment. I haven't felt this antagonistic towards cameo games, or at least indifferent, cold to cameo games since I want to say the days of Returns and Tropical Freeze. And I think it's because
you don't need them.
I say this as a Donkey Kong zealot. Yeah. Bananza has been such a reclamation of everything we love about the DK series and the notion of the DK series itself. It's a big announcement. It's saying Donkey Kong is a series, respect it on its own terms, aside from the shared heritage with Mario. And it's made me remember how I felt about cameo games towards the end of the N64 years, where they just started to feel like, oh, this exists and it's in the way. It's in the way towards the path to get to the next Donkey Kong game. And that's no shade towards anybody who loves these games, who discovered Donkey Kong through these games. Your feelings are just as valid as my feelings. But I'm just letting you know, Mario Tennis Fever, I'm like, ugh, have to get through that one.
See, for me, it's... I'm never going to turn my nose up at Donkey Kong stuff appearing in this.
Dustin, 1 minute. But... 1 minute to go.
Oh, 1 minute.
Make it
my
quick.
Goodness.
Make it quick.
Yeah, I'm just saying if they put Diddy in this, I will be happy. Yay.
Yeah. I mean, look, part of me wants to hold off from playing Mario Kart World too much, because if they do add Diddy to it, I'm going to be playing as Diddy in Mario Kart World. And I don't want to burn myself out on Mario Kart World. If there's a chance, I will get to play as my favorite character of all time in it.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's fair. I agree with you.
When Diddy finally came to Mario Kart 8 after so many years, I was like, oh yeah, well, this is a little late, I guess.
Zipbinders in the chat says, put Diddy Kong in Fortnite. Imagine that can of worms.
Oh god, that's where Banjo-Kazooie are going to show up. They're not going to get a game. They're just going to be in Fortnite. And I'm going to have to... Oh, God. Okay. 4, 3,
Three.
2, 1. Happy 2026 if you're in Twycross.
2026.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
Wine glass clink.
Let's sing the song. Let's sing it.
Okay.
Should old game characters be forgot? Not this year. And never brought to mind. Everything's back for Donkey Kong. Should old game characters be forgot? Nintendo remember Squawks. You should read DKVine.com. Yay. It's a new year, Dustin. How do you feel?
I smell about the same as I did.
Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you. You fucking reek. That's why.
Thank you.
That's why I invented the whole let's get other rotating co-hosts on for every Bananza episode, because you're on the first one, and I was like, God, Dustin smells. I can't.
There's
deal
no
with
way.
It.
There's no way I'm doing every layer with this.
Finally, like we're wrapping up here. I don't have anything else to say. 2026 is going to be an interesting year because for the Donkey Kong series, we are out of the dark, and the monkey is off our back, or it's on our back because we like a monkey on there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think now this is like now that Bananza's out, it really is this weird feeling where. If a Nintendo Direct gets announced, I'm like, I don't know what I want now. I got what I wanted. Now I'm just like, I guess I'm fine with anything. I guess whatever.
I mean, I still want Donkey Kong games.
Oh, yeah, I'm for sure. I mean, I still want Donkey Kong games. But like as of right now, in the afterglow of Bananza, where I know we're not going to get another Donkey Kong game. Now I'm just sitting here like, yeah, whatever you want to announce at a Direct. I don't have like any real hopes or expectations. I'm good.
So much of the history of the Kongversation since the show launched in January 2013 has just been Nintendo's got good things in the works for Donkey Kong. Trust us, bro. And
yeah.
Now we are in this new era where it's like, oh yeah, see? So I'm just excited as the perpetual host of this Faustian bargain I made that I no longer have to look towards this optimistic future for the series. We're just in it. And that feels great. And thank you again to everyone who has stuck with us over the past 13 seasons, or for those of you, I should say, who just found us this year. I know I griped earlier about, oh God, the Kongversation has sapped my will to live this year. I'm punching myself in the crotch because that's the only way I can feel things anymore. But the truth is, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't love it. And my enthusiasm for this is really generated by all of you. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in for everybody who joined us for this live episode.
Thank you.
Terminally Online, Traveler of the Stars, March Rose, Malik! I see you there, buddy.
Hello, Malik.
Courtney joined us. Giga Strike.
Our good friend Mitchell.
Mitchell, he who is devoured by spiders on a consistent basis.
No wonder he went quiet.
2026, I can't say it's going to be a better year than 2025 as far as the world goes. Hopefully it can't be much worse. But I think the consistent baseline for what we discuss here at DK Vine, it's got to stay up there. It obviously can't match the excitement of Bananza, but we are still buzzing. And we're also zingering. We're also buzzoiding.
That's good. That was a good little bit.
What are some other bees?
The king bee from Conquer, the Zubbas.
Zubbas, yeah. What about
Zubbas.
What are the ones from Tropical Freeze called?
Oh, freaking A! I can't remember.
Freaking A's.
But I like,
yeah,
freaking A's. They're good ones. They should have called them freaking bees when you think about it.
Thank you, everyone. I love you all. We'll see you in season 14. By the way, Dustin, it's time to get started on the artwork for that season.
Oh, boy.
No, actually, you need to take a bath first. I'm serious.
We'll see.
This has been a File 2 production.
Qué rico.